What's going on, guys? Just finishing up the little bit of off-season work I had going on. I'm going to be starting prep here soon, and hopefully we'll be able to do like a weekly vlog type deal to go into a little bit of detail of the US Open prep that we have going on. But today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about implementing cardio into your program and where the benefits are, where the downfalls are. As you guys saw in the last video, got my blood work done, and I had to start doing some stuff to keep my heart a little bit healthier, things that I've been neglecting. And you know, when you start to add in stimuluses and anything that you do, it could be, you know, yoga, it could be active recovery, it could be cardio, it can be playing basketball, pickup games. That's gonna create more fatigue debt that you have to recover from. So a few of the things, and there's no real cut and dry answer to like what's the best type of cardio, when should you do it, etc., because at the end of the day, your goal is to improve your performance and to do that in the healthiest way possible. Or your goal could be just to improve your performance and hope you don't die by doing it, you know. And if that's the case, then you probably aren't going to listen to this cardio and do any of it anyway, so it doesn't really matter pertaining to you. But cardio can be an effective tool. I would say the best approach to cardio for strength athletes is to use it when you're in a surplus or when you're trying to gain weight, because as you add in more calories and as you increase weight, that puts a lot of stress on your heart, and you want to do things to ensure that it's staying as healthy as possible. And cardio for that approach is a great way to implement it in, because one, you have excess calories, so you're not really doing much damage to yourself. And I don't really think that if you think that you're going to do damage to your body by doing 20-30 minutes of cardio a day, then you have a lot of other issues that you need to fix before you start not implementing cardio, because the biggest guys in the world, muscle for muscle, do cardio, and they do a lot of it to get lean, and a lot of them seem to perform very well in the gym and stuff until like the last 2 or 3 weeks, and there's no one on the powerlifting platform that are getting into that type of condition. So if your cardio is taken away from your output in the gym, you probably just have bad programming, and that's something that you really need to take a look at, whether it's your programming for your cardio or your programming for your weightlifting. And also, doing sets of more than 5 reps is not what I would consider heart health cardio, which I know a lot of powerlifters are going to be very disheartened to hear, but that's just the way it is. So cardio can be done also a little bit, nothing intensive, but a little bit pre-workout and a little bit post-workout. 5 to 10 minutes of cardio to kind of break a sweat, get things rolling, get the blood flowing before workout, and doing a very decent cool down afterwards can help with recovery. But nothing intense. Usually on a bike, that seems to be the best way to not really wear down on your body, using a spin bike or using any type of seated bike. That tends to lend itself well to recovery aspects. And then also another way to add in cardio is just when you're trying to build up your work capacity, right? And that's the time going into meet prep, when you're starting to drop your volume and you're starting to use a lot of heavier weights. The more you can increase your work capacity by adding in cardio and adding in circuits or things like that to get your heart rate up, the better you're going to recover between your workouts, and also the better you're going to recover in between each set. Why is that important? Well, it's going to allow you to lift more weight. If you're better recovered in between sets and in between workouts, you're going to be able to go to the gym and finish each set and be able to replicate that over and over again without having to spend 15 minutes trying to catch your breath. Now, granted, when you're adding this in the initial phase, when your volume's high, you may feel a little bit more fatigue. Your body will adapt. Don't just quit doing what you're doing. But I definitely would recommend, when you're starting to add in cardio, that you do it with a very, very moderate duration and pace, right? So I started mine, I'm doing 10 minutes 3 times a week with intervals on the stairs, going like 30 seconds, a little bit higher intensity, 30 seconds, a little bit lower intensity, and about 5 minutes of cool down and warm up work. So 2.5 minutes of warm up, 2.5 minutes of cool down. The rest are intervals. So you're really getting in about 5 minutes of work. And doing this 3 times a week has really improved my recoverability in between sets to the point where I feel like I'm ready to go as soon as I'm done with the set. Does it take away from my training? If 10 minutes took away from my training, then I would have to seriously reevaluate everything that I'm doing, because that's just shit, to be quite honest with you. So I think those are some good and effective ways to add in cardio. If you're doing it while you're gaining weight, I would definitely do more of a steady state approach, maybe mixed in with a couple HIIT sessions, but you can also add those in and start like supersetting 4 exercises at the end of your workout to get a little bit more cardio as well. But you want to make sure that those are programmed and periodized just like your training. You don't want to jump in 5 to 6 sessions 30 minutes a week because you have no place to go. You want to start very, very low, get the most out of that you can, and then slowly increase that each time you need to. Maybe once every 3 to 4 weeks you can increase the volume of your and the intensity of your cardio. Now, the worst time to do cardio for strength athletes, in my opinion, is when you're in a calorie deficit trying to drop a weight class. You really want to focus on diet, and you really want to focus on training hard in the gym to drop that weight. If you have to add in cardio, I wouldn't worry about that weight class as much. I would focus on increasing your NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which means trying to be more active throughout the day by like walking, things like that. 10-minute walks are very popular now. Walking your dog, parking further away from the grocery store, things like that to help increase your expenditure throughout the day. That's going to be far more beneficial when you're dropping a weight class than it is to actually get on a bike and start doing some cardio. So if you have to add in cardio to drop a weight class, I would say, one, you probably didn't start off with enough calories to begin with, and you shouldn't be dropping a weight class. Or 2, you probably picked a number that was way too unreachable and unattainable, and if you start adding in cardio to get to that number, you're going to see a significant loss in strength. And that's where the loss in strength comes from, is when you're already in a calorie deficit and you start to drop your volume because you're trying to get ready for a meet. That's going to be the biggest issue. If you're going to try to drop a weight class, do it not going into a meet. Do it when your volume's at its highest, and then the cardio won't be as impactful. But try to do the most you can with just training and diet to drop weight. For strength athletes, obviously for physique athletes, it's a completely different story. And also, if you enjoy cardio and you feel like mentally it keeps you healthy and it keeps you fresh, then never take it out. You have to weigh the pros and cons. If you're mentally not feeling good because you didn't do your cardio, then you're not going to train good, and then that's more of an issue down the road than just doing your cardio. So mental health is important in this game, and making sure that you do things to stay mentally healthy is extremely important. So that's what I have for you guys on cardio. I hope that it helps a little bit out. If you like the video, make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you like it, and make sure that you share. And if you guys have any comments about cardio, drop them below. I'll catch you guys later.